Good morning. Hope y'all are having a good day today. Today's our last day for our letter G. We've been working on our G all week. Today, for what we're going to do, you're going to need a few things. You are going to need lesson 12:1, and then the 2 has your capital G, lowercase g, and your goat. You're also going to need your handwriting, which is going to look like this with your capitals and your lowercase, and then on the back it has the girl, girl, and she's in a garden. You're also going to need a pencil to write your name on your phonics paper, and for the back of your handwriting, you're going to need BLUE. Blue. You're also going to need YELLOW. Yellow. Remember, we're working on sight words, words that we can't sound out now that we know how to sound out and code our words. Blue, yellow are color words. These are some of the words, our number words, or words that we can't sound out. That means that we have to just know those letters in that order, make that word. BLUE is always blue. YELLOW is always yellow, no matter when we see it, as long as those letters are in that order, that's what it is. So we've been working on G. We have seen lots of different pictures that had the G sound, like gum, gate, garden, goat, grapes, goose, girl, and game. So when we look at these, remember, these are all the beginning sound, that first sound that comes out of our mouth. And that's what we've been looking at with our G. But we're going to actually look at rhyming words this morning. Rhyming words have to do with our sounds too, but in a different part. So remember, we've been doing like beginning, middle, and end of our words. Well, when we do rhyming words, remember, they sound really fun to say together. They make more sense, but they also have that last chunk, that last little bit, sometimes the middle and the end, sometimes just the end that's the same sounds. So for example, if I said goat, goat, and boat, boat, goat, boat, rhyme. So here's what you're gonna do today. You're gonna use your thumbs. If they rhyme, you're gonna give me some more thumbs up. If they do not rhyme, you're gonna give me a thumbs down. Okay, my first one is going to be red, said, red, said. Just even listening to it, do you think that they're going to rhyme? Yes or no? If they rhyme, give me a thumbs up. If they don't, give me a thumbs down. Red, said, ed, ed. Notice they both have the ed. That means that's going to be a rhyming word. Ed, ed. Let's look at another one. Bed, chair. Bed, chair. Ed, air. Is that last part the same sound? Do we hear it the same? Bed, chair. Ed, air. Thumbs up if they rhyme, thumbs down if they don't. Good, they do not rhyme. They do not rhyme. They do not sound the same. Let's try another one. Pencil, bag. Pencil and bag. Pencil and bag. Notice right away, that one should be a little easier because it's a different kind of word. These do not rhyme. They do not have the same sound. Let's try a different one. Cat, at, at. Cat, sat. At, cat, sat. They do rhyme. Good. Big, fig. Big, ig. Big, fig. Do they rhyme or do they not rhyme? Good, they do rhyme. Very good. So we're going to keep looking at rhyming words. Remember those words that have the same sound or chunk of word letters at the end? Very good. Let's go ahead and review over some of our other things that we've done this week. And remember, next week we're going to be adding on a new letter card. So try to do them with me somewhere. Ready? G, G. What does G sound like? G. Not G, G. G, G. Goat, G. L, ul. Lion, ul. O, ah. Octopus, ah. Since this last one's right here, what is O? In our alphabet that has 26 letters, is it normally found on our alphabet strip in red or black? Red. Good. This means that it is a vowel. Vowels have more than one sound. Our O can say ah with this breathe, with this smile, or it can say its name and say O. It has two sounds. That's why on your cards it has two pictures, not just the one. But our other letters, G and L, are consonants. They have one sound. G, ul. And remember, when we work on putting these together, even if it's not these letters, any letters or any words that we're trying to put together, or what we call code, there's some things that we need to look at. So we're going to re-look at our rule card over here. So our rule card tells us if we have a vowel, which is like our O, if we have our vowel that's followed by a consonant, any consonant, then what we're going to do is we're going to code it with a breathe. Coding it just means I'm marking it to make it easier to sound out and read, and put all those letters and those sounds together to make the word. So if I come over here and we look at this word, we did this one the other day, which letter, L, O, or G, is my vowel? The O. And notice Miss Elmore even wrote it with the red just to kind of help your brain say, brain, that's the vowel. Is it followed by a consonant? Yes. If I have a vowel followed by a consonant, I code it or mark it with a breathe. Remember, your breathe looks like your smile. That tells your brain that it is the short sound for the O. So remember, we said it can say ah and it can say O. So I'm not going to do this. Ul, og, log. What's a log? Exactly. It doesn't make sense that way. Ul, ah, g. And then guess what I can do? I can blend them and I can put them closer together and make it a word. Ul, og, ul, og, ul, og, log. This is the word log. So I'm thinking about my rule card as I'm doing this. If I have a vowel followed by a consonant, I code it or mark it with my breathe. Very good. Let's go ahead and look at our paper, because you're going to get a chance today to go ahead and code as well with Miss Elmore. So we're going to put our paper where we can reach it. We're going to make sure we sit like Riley the raccoon and we're sitting nice. So we have our feet on the floor, and we're going to hold our paper with one hand, and we're going to use our marker, or our, sorry, you're using your pencil on your paper to be able to do what we're doing. Now remember, Miss Elmore is going to check them when you bring them back in your right folder, so make sure you're doing it with Miss Elmore. This letter right here is also a G. Is this a capital G or a lowercase g? Lowercase g. It still says G, but it's the lowercase g. This is the capital G. It is our big one, but it makes the same sound. It sounds like G, like goat, goat. Let's look at number one. Remember, Miss Elmore's gonna make sure you do in the right order with me. Number one, we're gonna write the capital and lowercase letter that sounds like G, G. What letter sounds like G? My G. So I'm gonna write my capital G and my lowercase falling G. Do that the best you can by number one. Remember, we will talk about how to write our capital G and lowercase g again here in a minute. This is the last day we're really focusing really hard on how to write those two letters. Okay, number two. Notice where Miss Elmore is. Now, because this letter fell down, I may have to go over here a little bit when I write it. On number two, let's write the capital and lowercase letter that sounds like ah, ah, ah. What it sounds like? Ah. Oh, so I'm going to hold my paper I'm gonna write my capital O, and if I need to move over further, notice if somewhere moved over further. That's fine. It depends how much room you used with your other letters. Just do the best you can to where we can read it. And then number 3, on number 3, we're gonna write the capital and lowercase letter that sounds like O. O. What sounds like O? O. Good. L sounds like O. So I'm gonna hold my paper. I'm gonna pull straight down and over, and then straight down for my lowercase. Remember, some of our lowercase letters are small, some are tall, and some fall. So for example, my G is a falling letter. My O is a small letter, and my L is a tall letter. So we've actually done some that are all 3. Now let's look down here. This is your word. Remember, words are letters in a certain order to tell us something. We have an L. What's L sound like? O. We have an O. What does O sound like? Ah. We have a G. What does G sound like? G. Let's look at this word. The very first thing I'm always going to do is look to see if I have a vowel. Is L a vowel? No. Is O? Yes. If I have a vowel, and notice it's followed by a consonant, I'm going to code it with my smile, with a breathe. Miss Elmore looks to see if you do this too. This is part about using those listening ears and doing what we're doing. Your paper always needs to look like Miss Elmore's. Now that I've coded my word, that makes it easier for my brain to sound it out. Let's try it. Just the sounds, not the letter, just the sounds. Ready? O, ah, g. O, ah, g. O, ah, g. O, ah, g. Log. Do you see a picture of a log? Good. Draw a line from your word log to the picture of the log. Very good. Miss Elmore's going to check to see that we did it. Let's go ahead and look at our handwriting. You're going to be doing kind of a pattern today. Sorry, it's kind of, let's try that again. A whole line of capital G's, lowercase g, so it has to fall down by that line. Big G's again, lowercase g's. Big G's, lowercase g's. They all say G. So let's just kind of look to see how we're going to write it again. Notice I'm going to curve that direction. So whenever I write my capital G, remember you have to go this way to the left. That's the left. This is the right. You have to curve up from that dot. Remember, we start on the dot. You have to curve up from the dot and touch that top line, curve around and down, touch the bottom line, back up into the dotted line and pull in. So I'm going to hold my paper, curve up to the top, around and down, back up to the middle and in. Do the best you can. Curve up to the top, around and down, back up and in. Then for my G, my lowercase g, it starts on that dot again. But notice it's on the dotted line. You're still curving that same way. Curve around and down, touch it, back up, straight down and give it a tail. Notice which way that tail's going. That's important too. Curve around and down, back up, back down, and give it a tail. Do your very best work. Remember, Miss Elmore checks these too. It's not about getting in a hurry. It's about doing your very best to make it in those lines. On the back, you're going to see your capital G and lowercase g. You can write it again. And then you're going to need these 2 colors. Notice your capital G is B-L-U-E, blue. Every place you see your capital G is going to be blue. Every place you see your lowercase g is going to be your Y-E-L-L-O-W, yellow. 3-star coloring. That means remember that you're coloring in the lines, you're using the right colors, and you're not leaving any white space. Next week, we're going to be doing a brand new letter, so make sure that you do your very best on these so that when we add those new cards, that it makes it a tiny bit simpler. Let's go ahead and do these one more time, and then Miss Elmore will let you go. I hope you have a great weekend, and don't work hard. This is our last one for the week. Ready? L, O, lion, O, ah, Octopus, ah. G, g. Goat, g. Okay, I hope you have a great day. Make sure you're making good choices for mom and dad, and you do your very best work all the time.